the last Karaka of the D10. So first Karaka is Mercury, second Karaka is Saturn, third Karaka is Surya, and the fourth Karaka is Jupiter. Now Surya gave you a Raj Yoga. So you became the Prime Minister of the country. For how many months or years did you become the Prime Minister? 3 months? 3 months? 1 year? 3 years? Or 15 years? This will be decided by Jupiter. The quantum of your success. How long lasting will be your success? That is why when you have Jupiter MKS in your horoscope from Atmakarka or Lagna or Aruda Lagna, Jupiter MKS will never ever give you long-term Raj Yogas. You will have short successes in your life, then you change something, you change a profession, and then you get some sort of success for maybe 1-2 years. Then you have to do something else. So the success is very fluctuating. It keeps coming and going. Atma Karaka, Amatya Karaka inputs you have to take from the Lagna Kundli. Okay? Atma Karaka of your D1 chart behaving in the D10 chart. That is how you always check these charts. Am I clear? I hope no one has this confusion. You are going to check the Atma Karaka of your D1, see where it is placed in the D10, and then calculate it from there. I'm crystal clear on this. If you see my previous classes, I've been talking about Surya being my Atma Karaka placed here in the D10, and and I'm calculating things for myself. So this question should not arise. So Jupiter will define the quantum of success. There are two types of people in this world. First category is that people will tell you that, Navneet, you are very successful. You are good. And they can tell me that you are good like 10,000 other astrologers in this world. And we really love you. We really love your teachings. This is one statement. The other statement is that, Navneet sir, you are in the top 10 astrologers of the world and we respect you a lot for your spirituality, for giving a spiritual flavor to Jyotish, which not all astrologers can do. So under these circumstances, I gave you two statements. One is a very lovable statement that we love you for your work. You are great. The other statement is that we respect your work. You may not love me. There are many students or few students who may not love me, but in the bottom of their heart, they would have respect for my work. But there are certain people and followers who really, really love my work. They love the way I teach, but they may not respect me. How to identify this yoga and D10 chart? Will you be respected for your work or would you be loved for your work? The position of the moon defines that you will be loved at your workplace. The position of the Jupiter defines will you get respect or not. Full stop. If your Jupiter is at MKS with Rahu afflicted, people might love you, but they may not respect you. Simple. Simple. How many of you love Ranbir Kapoor? How many of you love Ranbir Kapoor for his work in his, which movie was this last movie? Animal. I swear on Krishna, I have not seen this movie. I did not get any time. But I heard it's very, I don't know, people had negative, mixed feelings for it. So you may love for his work, but do you respect him for his work? You always love superstars. But how many of you respect them? But then there might be a teacher in your school whom you may not love. He has been very strict. But then you may respect him. Respect comes from Jupiter. In the D10 chart, love comes from the moon. If both are well placed, you will get love and respect. Have you understood this concept? Moon in MKS, you may not be loved at your place, but you will have respect. Parulji was saying, Guruji, I don't know, maybe she was saying, who was saying, Guruji, my moon is in MKS. Fine, you will not be loved. But if your Jupiter is well placed in the D10, you will be respected. If your Jupiter is not well placed, you may not have respect, but you still be loved at your workplace. And it is so good to have both well placed. So good to have. You'll have love and respect. You see, the biggest conflict of D10 chart is the conflict between Mercury and Saturn. You people consider Mercury and Saturn as very good planets. They are best friends. But in D10, they become enemies. Mercury and Saturn in D10 becomes enemies. You can underline this line or underline this statement and store it in the priority in your brain. Mercury and Saturn are enemies. They become inimical in the D10 chart. You see, Saturn has three principles in his life when it comes to work. The first principle is hard work. The second principle is traditional work, traditional methods. And the third principle is basically doing work slowly, steadily. Three principles: being very steady, being traditional, and doing a lot of hard work. These three things Mercury can't even think of. Mercury says smart working. So Saturn will walk for 5 kilometers Have you spoken to a laborer ever in India? Every day from morning to evening, I have this, my driver, who comes by walking from his PG or a hostel where he lives to my home every day in the morning. And technically, it is nothing for him. 3, 4, 5 kilometers of walking is nothing for him coming and going. 5 kilometers coming, 5 kilometers going. Working for 8, 10 hours, happily taking 20,000 rupees plus 3 times of meal and some extra bonuses when he's traveling with me outside. That's it. Maybe 25,000 rupees a month and 3 times of food we give. We give food to all the workers who are working in our home. Beat anyone. From my guards to my drivers to my housekeeping, 3 meals are guaranteed from my home. It is my order to my family. Give them all 3 meals. But this is Saturn. But when Mercury, a guy like me, will walk for 5 kilometers, you know what will I say to my wife? Or what will I say to my son? Or what will I say to my mother? I'll show my mobile app and tell them that I have taken 10,000 steps today. If I walk 10 kilometers, I will tell them that I have taken 15,000 steps today. And I have burned so many calories, and this is how active I was during the day. Saturn will think this Mercury is a fool. And Mercury will think that this Saturn is not calculating anything. He should ask Navneet sir for additional 5,000 rupees because I'm walking from my home to your workplace and from my workplace to home, or give me a conveyance so that I can reach quickly on time and I don't waste my energy. This is a conflict between Mercury and Saturn. How many of you have understood what I am saying? Have you understood? If you have not understood, please tell me. Because if you don't understand these statements, you will not be able to understand D10 chart of anyone. Because this is going to be a major difference between an employee and an entrepreneur. Thinking. Are you going to be an entrepreneur in your life? Do you have Mercurian thinking or do you have Saturn thinking? Traditional, slow, steady, and hard work are the qualities of a serviceman who should be in the job. If you bring this person into an entrepreneurship, he's going to fail for 2, 3 years. He's going to lose all his savings and then he's going to go back to the job again. I have many such consultations in my life where people has that insect inside them of becoming a businessman, of becoming an entrepreneur. They exhausted all the savings and then went back to the job again. And you know what? If you have all these things, if you have all these things with you of hard work and this and that, it is good to be in a job. Job is at times 10,000 times better than a business. It relaxes you. It gives you time on the weekends. It gives you bonuses. It gives you some social security. It gives you tons of things. It's the biggest thing, the biggest advantage of the job is it will never give you debts. Business will give you debts. Only a person in a job will have a debt if he has crossed his boundaries in spending the money. When he did not realize his earnings and he's overspent, he was being lavish. That is when a service guy, or he invested in real estate or crypto or something side by side during the job, that is when he'll be in trouble. Otherwise, a job guy, if he keeps learning, he keeps working hard, he keeps upgrading himself, he will never ever lose his job. But there are people with weak Saturn doing businesses, and businesses to the highest level. Do you understand what word I'm speaking? Weak Saturn. So if you have a debilitated Saturn in the Kendra of the D10 chart, it is a Raj Yoga. If you have a weak malefic in the Kendra of the D10, it is a Raj Yoga. Don't apply the principles of D1 into D10. If you have a weak malefic in the Kendra of your D10 chart, it is a Raj Yoga. Many Ponga Pandits will recommend a gemstone of a weak malefic in Kendra or Trikona to a client which is destroying their Raj Yoga. Can you make 3-4 stars and write this statement? If there is a debilitated Saturn in the Kendra and you make him wear a blue sapphire, you destroyed his Raj Yoga, because it has great potential for that person to leave that traditional work and get modern and get into entrepreneurship. How many of you have understood what I'm saying? If you have a strong benefic in the D10, in the Kendra or Trikona, it is good. Enhance it. Do a mantra, wear a gemstone, whatever you want to do it, do it. Enhance it. Enhance it. When you enhance that, you are enhancing a Raj Yoga. I hope you know the benefics and the malefics. The strongest benefic is Jupiter, then Venus, then Mercury and the Moon. They are benefics. Malefics are the remaining planets. The remaining 5 are all malefics. So when you wear a digital HMT watch, you are Saturn. When you wear an Apple smartphone or smartwatch, you are Mercury. That tells you your heartbeats, your walk, your calories, and whatever you want to know. And people will come and tell me, Guruji, smartwatch is Rahu. I can't expect my students to be fools, because the technology in a smartwatch is Rahu. But as a whole, smartwatch is Mercury. But because it keeps calculating things for you. I always keep saying technology, technology, technology. Technology is Rahu. Smartwatch is not Rahu. Smartwatch is Mercury. And Mercury is using the technology of Rahu. Are you with me? Are you learning what I'm trying to tell you? People have how many videos saying that you're wearing Rahu on your wrist? So anything that you're using with technology is a Rahu, no? This particular Zoom and this, computers that we're using, the technology behind them is Rahu. But actually they are Mercury. And that is when Mercury goes retrograde, your system goes down. Especially the software, not the hardware. Yeah, wear a white smartwatch. Good. Mercury is the biggest concept in everybody's life. How many chapatis I have eaten, what time is the class, where am I going, when are you coming, how much money, this, that, and everything. You're counting calories, you're counting your food, you're counting your money, you're counting hours of your life, spent time, 3 days, 2 days, everything. So this is a tug of war between Saturn and Mercury. This is a tug of war between job and business. Identify. See, Sun and Jupiter will tell you opportunities and the quantum of wealth and the success. It is the Mercury and the Saturn which is going to define who you are in your work. Have you understood the four major karakas of the D10 chart? In a very clear and a crisp manner. And these four planets in MKS will destroy the relevant karakas, the karak tattvas that I've talked right now. So Mercury MKS, you're not willing to learn. Surya MKS,